All right, welcome back, Hononegah, Honors Algebra 2, Section 3-1, Day 2 now. We're going to solve quadratic equations. So we know that the x-intercepts of a graph would be the p and q, because the value of the function is 0 when x equals p and when x equals q. And so the p and the q value is known as the zeros of the function. So I want to talk a little bit about this. When you factor something, you have the factors of the function. So this is referred to as factors. When you solve something, that's when you get the solutions, when you get x equals. And then the actual number of the solution is referred to as the zeros. And then there's one more item that also gets talked about. And that item is the intercepts. So those are the points. Those are the points in which it actually crosses. So the number 0 and also the number 0. So there's 4 different kind of ways, and there's roots and there's a little bit some other stuff, but ultimately this is what we're talking about. So let's say I had x minus 2 and x plus 3 as my factors. So when I solve those and set those equal to 0, I get x equals 2 and x equals negative 3, which means negative 2 and, 2 and negative 3 are my zeros, and negative 3 and 2, 0 are my intercepts. So again, talking about things in a little bit different manner. So if I'm talking about factors, if I'm talking about solutions, if I'm talking about zeros, or if I'm talking about the intercepts, even though they all are related to each other. So here we go. I'm given a function, I'm asked to find the zeros. So I want to know when this particular function equals 0. Now, it says to find the factors, so they want me to factor this. Now, I'm going to do the guess and check method because I'm good at guess and checking, but again, your factoring skills are very important. So I guessed 2x and x, and then I guessed a positive, whoops, sorry. So then I'm going to guess I'm going to guess a negative 3 and a negative 4. Check, this is negative 3x, the outside's negative 8x, so now I can solve it. So 2x minus 3 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0, x is equal to 4, and x is equal to 3 halves. So my zeros are 3 halves and 4. A monthly skateboarding magazine has 50,000 subscribers when it charges $12 per annual subscription for each $1 increase in price. The magazine loses about 2,500 subscribers. How much should the magazine charge to maximize the annual revenue? This is a great question. This is a question that will be on your quiz. This is a question that will be on your test, and I believe there is one on your homework assignment. Normally, whatever you charge somebody times the number of subscriber or number of people you sell it to. So for instance, if I sold you 10 pencils at $2 each, I'm going to get 20 bucks because I sold 10 pencils at $2 each and I times those together. So now it says we have 50,000 subscribers when I charge 12. So 50 when I charge 12, I know I put the charge first. So charge $12 times 50,000 subscribers. Now, they want to change the price to maximize profit. I'm going to increase by 1x. Okay, so I'm increasing it by $1. I'm going to lose 2,500 subscribers. How much should they charge to maximize the annual revenue? I want to find the vertex of this function. Now, first find the intercepts or the zeros. So when I set this equal to 0, I get negative 12. When I set this one equal to 0, it requires a little bit more work, 2,500 x negative 50,000. So I divide by negative 2,500, and x would equal 20. That's where the intercepts, or that's where the solutions occur. Now, the halfway point between these two, so I'm going to try to find the vertex, remember. So halfway between negative 12 and 20 is 4. And then 50,000. So if I charge, sorry about this, if I put 4 in for x, I'm going to get 12 plus 4, which is 16. 50,000 minus 2,500 times 4 would be 40,000. And so then 40,000 times 16 has a vertex of 640,000. So now, what is the maximum annual revenue? The maximum annual revenue is 640, sorry, $1,000. What should the price be? That's a little bit more interesting. Right here, it says originally I sold it for $12. I'm going to increase this by 4 increments, so I should charge $16 to maximize my profit. If you owned a business, this is a question that you'll ask yourself a lot. I'm currently charging a certain amount. Could I be charging a different amount to maximize my profits? An object is dropped at a height above the ground after t seconds can be modeled by the function h is equal to negative 16 t squared plus h sub o. H sub o is the initial height. The graph of h equals negative 16 t squared plus 200 represents an object that is being dropped from 200 feet. Is shown below. The model h equals negative 16 t squared plus h of o assumes that the force of air resistance on the object is negligible. So here is an example of I drop an object from 200 feet and it's going to fall and land on the ground at 3.54 seconds. So again, this equation right here, you're going to need in your homework assignment, so you may want to star that. For the second level science competition, students must design a container that prevents an egg from breaking when dropped from 60 feet. What is the function that gives the height of the container after t seconds? How long does it take for the container to hit the ground? So here's using the previous slide. H is equal to negative 16 t squared plus h sub o. In this case, we're dropping it from 60 feet. Write a function. How long does it take for the grainer to hit the ground? So I want to know when h is 0. I'm going to use the square root property. So I'm going to subtract 60, divide by negative 16. So 60 divided by negative 16. 3.75 equals t squared. Taking the square root of that, you're going to end up getting 1.936. So it's going to take about almost 2 seconds, but 1.936 seconds for it to hit the ground. Find and interpret h sub 0.5 minus h sub 1.3. So what they want me to do is, what happens if, where is it at when I put 0.5 in for t? And where's it at when I put 1.3 in for t? So let's go ahead. Negative 16 times 0.5 squared plus 60. So negative 16 times 0.5 squared plus 60 would equal 56. And then do the same thing with 1.3. So negative 16 times 1.3 squared plus 60. I get 32.96. Let's interpret this. So I've got an egg that's dropping. It's at 56 feet after half a second, and it's at 32.96 feet after 1.3 seconds. So I'm finding the distance between those two times. So 56 minus 32.96, that egg has traveled 23.04 feet during that time frame. So that's what they're asking for. Find and interpret then those distances. Your homework assignment is out of the book. If you have any questions, please make sure that you talk to your teacher, and good luck.